if you actually look at the knitting of why they created Aalto, is not to collide three institutions. And we had 3 universities and now we have 6 schools. That doesn't sound like a typical merger in a business sense. But the driving force from the private sector was pretty clear. They're not going to be generating jobs. Not as many as they have in the past. And so in essence, we have no choice. We're having to try and create an educational platform so that people can explore their own opportunities because frankly, and this is just a statement of fact, big companies are not going to be sopping up as many graduates as they have in the past. And so there was a necessity drive at the one end. Second, the students picked up on this and took up the realm of actually forming this, what I call a self-help club. That's what Entrepreneurship Society is. You get a bunch of people in a room. They feed off each other. What they don't talk about a lot, but what happens, I know it does, is they talk about their fears as well as their dreams. They focus on ways to activate. And this is one of the necessary ingredients from the bottom up to actually have gotten the attention of the university to say this is an important destination for the school, number one. Having said all that, number two, if you look at my job title, it says high growth entrepreneurship. And I'll be a little bit provocative. When you add that word high growth to the word entrepreneurship, the kind of person and pedigree you're looking for is not typically a 23-year-old who's starting venture number 1. Some element of that team has got to be somebody who has a deep base of experience in a domain that's either under attack, under pressure, strategically misguided, where a high-growth business is trying to pivot. And there's a depth of understanding which I see is lacking in a lot of young students talking with only other young students. And so I see the next big challenge is how do you fuse these people with experience who have a conservative streak with these young folks who see nothing but opportunity, upside, and very little risk. And when you fuse these two together, I think you get fundable propositions on a scale that is a much higher level than what we're seeing now. So what we're seeing is student activation of what I would call, they're getting to take training wheels on their ventures. But I want them to build bicycles that have global sales. And if you're going to build bicycles that have global sales, you've got to tell me how the bicycle industry operates firsthand. And it's just a statement of fact. A 23, 24, 25-year-old just doesn't have the base of experience to tell me in depth where are the blind spots of people who do business in the bicycle industry. But we could solve that problem because the other community we're reaching out to a great deal are these people who work in companies who don't want to work in big companies anymore. And I have a feeling we're going to have a whole bunch of traffic coming in here from people, and I know this from my executive training, who want to quit their job, do something differently, are excited by all of this new venture, may have some money to put into a business, but certainly some gray hair and experience to also put in a business, and that will create a valuation bump. I have to harken back. One of my first students was Ilkka Paananen, who just sold out a big piece of his Supercell business for quite a pocket of money. He's in his 30s. When I first met him, he was in his 20s. He wasn't ready to do what just happened in his 20s. He is in his 30s. And I think the challenge we're going to have to face is how do I take a student who's 23, 24, 25 today and mold them into somebody who could be a successful role model in their 30s like Ilkka is today. He's totally a different person in an extremely positive way. I'm not surprised he succeeded, but people have got to realize it's when he's in his 30s that this happened, not when he graduated out of school. And so this is probably going to be our future mission, is to try and figure out what path do we put you on to give you the experiences, to help you to pursue stuff that you're interested in a very structured and curious way. And I would like to see it in a design-driven philosophy. And this is what I'm doing with my students. The companies love it. The companies have creative challenges equally. And I think also we have to stop saying that entrepreneurship is about starting new businesses only. It has nothing to do with just starting new businesses. That's just, in my view, entrepreneurship is about opportunity pursued in resource-constrained environments. There's no mention there of new business, family business, high-growth business, high-tech business. It's a process that's useful in any type of organization, in any type of context. It just so happens that sometimes you have to start a new business. But you have to keep that in mind.